Hi everyone, Teddy here, Blade and Simple. I know it's been a while. A lot of back problems, so been out for a while. Back at you with another review. If you hear some noise, sorry. I'm in Blade and Simple Central, as you can see. Blade and Simple Central. We've upgraded. You know, some places got a green screen. We got the blue screen. And Old Faithful Botanic Stick got a serious upgrade. I think I'm gonna name this Botanicus Minimus. So anyway, we're gonna talk about the cold steel SRK and the vg1 steel. Now, if I'm not mistaken, cold steel is replacing the vg1 with the SK5. So if you can get your hands on one, pick it up. Gonna be a great addition to your collection. Okay, so let's get right into this. Here, this is a CAO Brazilia box press. It's a 5 by 5 by 55. It's from Honduras, Brazilian wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and filler. It's a long filler. Flavor profile. It's going to be woody, coffee, bit of dark chocolate. Coffee, mainly because you look at Brazil, one of their chief exports is coffee. So this goes without saying, this is going to be a great coffee cigar. Now, the draw on this, it's a great draw. It's an open draw. Phenomenal. The ash tends to flake a bit. I didn't have to touch this up too much, once in a while, but not very much. It's not an expensive cigar by any means, but it's a phenomenal smoke. And CAO always produce a consistent product. So definitely one of those things you guys want to try. So all you brothers and sisters of the leaf, give this one a shot. Sorry about that. That's my furnace going on. That's Blade and Simple Central. We're upgrading, but we're not rich. So give me a break. All right, now let's talk about this. The cold steel SRK. I think it's a survival rescue knife. Now, bit of specs on this. The weight, it's 8.2 ounces. Blade thickness, I believe it's 5 millimeters. Blade length, it's a 6-inch blade length. Overall length of 10 3/4 inches. The steel is vg1 with a black coating on top of it. It's a Japanese made steel, made in Japan. The handle is this, I believe they call it Cray X. To me, it almost feels like a TP, a thermopolyurethane. Has a very grippy, durable feel to it. It's not slippery. It's very tacky, actually. So, wet conditions, it's not going to slip out of your hand. A very nice, long handle, which I like. So you guys know, extra large size gloves, and I got lots of room on this, so great blade. Straight back clip point with a swedge, right? With a swedge right there. A ginormous ricasso. No other way to say it. Now, if you look at the bottom of this blade, it seems to be a straight blade all the way down. But it's actually not. When you get this in your hands and you take a look at it yourself, you will see there's a subtle curve from the ricasso all the way to the tip. A subtle continuous curve, which makes this great for slicing. The handle has ribs on the bottom and this checkering pattern all the way along the sides of the handle. Brass lanyard hole, the back with this nice upswept back towards the pommel area. You look at this and you're gonna think it's gonna be blocky and uncomfortable, but it's far from that. As you can see, there's a palm swell, very nice contours here, so it fits your hand beautifully. Great, great design. It's simple design, it's tried and tested, it's been around forever, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, what is vg1? Now, vg1 is a basic makeup of carbon, chromium, molybdenum, and nickel. Now, the chromium and molybdenum are added during the forging process to create a double hard, I think it's a double hard carbide bond, basically stating it's tough. It's a badass blade. It makes this abrasion and corrosion resistant, so it's really tough. But that also jacks up the Rockwell scale. So your Rockwell hardness is going to be between a 58 and a 61, which is extremely hard. And I've heard from a lot of VG1 owners that the steel tends to chip. We're going to see. Also, this knife was adapted by the Navy SEALs. It's an issue with the Navy SEALs BUDS training, basic underwater demolition SEALs training. So if it's great enough for servicemen and women, it's good enough for me. Now the sheath is this polymer sheath. It's not Kydex, polymer. Completely ambidextrous. As you can see right here, you have these screws. You can just reverse them, left or right. Great. Nice drainage hole at the bottom right there, as you can see. A lot of slots, eyelets, great lashing points here. So you could tie this to a pack. I don't see why you would want to, but you can. You can tie it to a pack, molly pack. Great. Nice durable nylon drop loop system here. Huge loop. You can easily fit a 2-inch belt in there. And it has this retention snap at the top. Really, really well designed sheath. The retention of this is fantastic. It's no rattle, no shake, nothing. It's great. Now, I do have a couple things I would change about this sheath, but for a standard issue sheath, this, in my opinion, is probably one of the best for a standard issue sheath. So, now let's take a look at this blade. First thing I notice about this blade is the weight. Now, for a smaller blade, it has some heft to it. You're not going to chop with it, but you can. It does have a really nice stout tip. You can hear right there. Sorry about that. You know what? No, hell with it. I'm not sorry. I'm enjoying that cigar. That's a damn good smoke. Has a really good stout tip, so this is going to be great for stabbing, thrusting. The weight, the balance, beautiful balance right there. Beautiful balance. So in terms of slashing, thrusting, you know, it's a great blade. It's a great fighting blade. I don't recommend, nor do I condone fighting with a knife, okay? Guys, don't do it. I know some of you guys out there say, "Oh, that's a great blade. When would it be like?" It's not worth it. 30 seconds of stupidity can cost you 30 years of your life, okay? So don't be done with this. It's a tool, okay? Use it as such and treat it as such. It is a tool. A knife is something to be respected. Yeah, have fun with it. Enjoy it. It's meant to be fun, but it's also meant to be respected. Okay, so don't be an idiot with a knife. The factory edge on this, it comes in actually surprisingly sharp. I would change the grind angle. This is, I believe, a 22-degree grind angle. I would like to see more of a 15. It is a high saber grind, as you can see right there, which is going to be great for splitting wood. But I would like to see more of a shallower angle. It would be better for cutting and slicing. Now, I don't really have a lot of wood down here, so we're going to make do with what we have. Let's see what this Mamma Jamma can do. First of all, let's see how sharp this is. Now, this is factory edge. I haven't really done much to it. Okay, so let's see what this Mamma Jamma will do. It's not bad. It needs to be touched up, as you can see, it needs some touching up. It's sharp-ish, but it's not my kind of sharp. So this factory edge needs some touching up, and I think that has a lot to do with this sheath here. The design here, when you take it out, it's constantly rubbing against the edge here, so it tends to knock that edge down a bit, but it's still a great working edge. I got this little piece here. Sorry, man. It's not the size of your wood, okay? It's how you use it. Says the guy with the big batoning stick. Okay. Let's see what this thing could do. Let's do some batoning. Let's see. Now this wood is hard. It's seasoned. It's been in my basement for, I believe, it's a couple years. I just completely forgot about it. So let's see. And it splits really well. Let's see if we can get this thing down farther and do some feather sticking with it. Okay, so it does pretty good. It's clean. There's no real drag on the blade. The problem I have with this is this coating. So you can see right there, see this side? I just used this. This is probably the second time I've used this blade. And the coating's already coming off. Big downside for me. Yeah, it's wearing, it's not chipping, which is good, but it's wearing far too quickly. So, not a fan of the coating so far. Now let's see if we can do some feather sticking. Let me adjust my camera here. See if I can, anyway. Damn it. Okay. Hope you guys can see. Maybe I gotta stand up for this crap. Let's see. Hope you guys can get this. Let's see if we can do some feather sticking here. If I can get this down a little bit farther for you guys here. Let's see. Oh, you son of a... Okay, let's see. Alright, hopefully that's good enough. Let's see. Let's see what this thing can do. Now, it's easy to feather stick with this. Even though that edge is not my kind of sharp, it's still sharp enough to do some work with. I like this actually. I like this big ricasso. It almost acts like a choil. Just pinch your fingers between this guard, that choil, and that ricasso. You can actually do some really decent work with this. Again, this grind angle, I'm not a fan of, to be honest. I would like to see this grind angle a bit shallower. So, it's good. It's decent. Let's see if we can do some push cuts with this. Break that off. Take a look at that right there. That will take a spark really well. Unfortunately, this doesn't have a 9-degree spine. Let's see if we can actually do some fluff with the spine. Okay, so it is decently sharp. Well, I take that back. So it's decently sharp, which is great. 9-degree spine, awesome. Adjust this again. Okay, let's do some chest cuts. You guys know I hate doing chest cuts. I think it's pointless, but let's do it anyway. Well, nice, clean cuts. There's no staggering on it, which means the blade is not getting hung up, which I like. Now, a blade this size, people are going to say, whoa, can you chop with it? No, can you go and chop down a tree with it? If your intention is chopping down a tree, and this is what you bring with you, you need help. Okay, because that's not what it's designed for. It's a survival blade. It's like that saying, jack of all trades, master of none. That's what this is. It's a jack of all trades blade. it's not a designated blade. It's not a designated chopper. It's not a bushcraft blade. It's supposed to be a jack of all trades kind of blade. It's not a master of anything. There's no chipping, no rolling of the edge. It's still decently sharp, still has that factory edge, which I haven't touched up, which I will. I can't stand this grind, so I'm going to reprofile this edge a bit. I have this. Let's see how this thing will chop. Okay, I'm going to do it here out of screw. See if I can get it in view for you guys. Let's see. Well, it's not too bad. Let's see if I can really whack on this. Let's see. Oh yeah, that'll chop. Let's try feathering this piece of wood. Oh, this is a lot easier. So, it'll do the job. Now, here's something I don't recommend you doing, okay? Stabbing with the tip of your knife. But since this is a survival rescue knife, and being a forces issue blade, it's going to be inevitable. So, let's see what it can do. Now that's badass. I mean, that's in there a good, fuck if I know, that far. So it's this swedge right here. Makes it really easy to penetrate. Really easy. See if I can, let's try some yanking on this tip. Don't do this, okay? Don't wrench on the tip of your knife. Nothing, no deformation, nothing whatsoever. Yep, no deformation of that tip. That tip is still extremely sharp. So when it comes to stabbing, great blade. Great for stabbing. Just don't stab anything. Alright, now let's get to Botanicus minimus. If you guys got a better name, let me know. Okay, maybe I'll use it. If you got a better name for this, let me know. Okay, so let's get on to the sheath, shall we? Now, the sheath, this polymer sheath. Let me adjust this camera a little bit. Okay, so a bit better. Okay, this polymer sheath, I love the design. Love it. I love the retention. Great retention. I like that they put in a secondary snap, which is good just for extra security. I like that. What I don't like is the location. That's way too high up. If I were to do a snap, I want it closer to the actual blade. I want it down here. That way, in the event this fails, that'll keep your knife in place. You're not going to worry about it riding up and risking cutting yourself. The mechanism that they actually secure this blade in place is just a couple slots, a couple raised areas on the inside that pinches onto the blade like this. Now that's good for now, but as this material starts to wear, it's going to loosen up. So you're going to have to do something about that eventually. And another thing I mentioned about this that I really don't like, the design of this sheath tends to wear down that edge. I've noticed it when I've taken it out and putting it back in. It starts to ride that edge a little too much, so it starts to wear down that edge. Not something I'm a fan of. There must be something else they can do. So cold steel, a little bit of tweaking on this, but as a standard issue with this in the package, great value. I've heard stories of the handle loosening. I haven't noticed it, but for initial testing, great blade. I like the saber grind. Again, I don't like the angle of this blade. I prefer a shallower angle, but it's still a great working edge. It needs a bit of tweaking. It's not as sharp as I would have liked to seen out of the box, but it's still a good working edge. So that being said, what do I give this as a package? Well, the knife design, the overall design, 5 out of 5. I love it. I absolutely love it. I like the simplicity of it, but I also like that it kept function when they designed it. They kept the idea of function in the design, so I love it. It shows you don't have to have 19 different finger trolls and, you know, come with a bottle opener on the back and a designated fire steel loop on the end and all kind of senseless garbage. I like the simplicity behind it. I was actually surprised. I did not know that thing had a 9-degree spine. So I thought it wouldn't scrape, it wouldn't do anything. So I am going to try that with a ferrous seam rod, and I will let you guys know in my next review. I like that. The handle design, I love it. The grippiness, the texturing. When I first got it, I didn't know if I would like it. But once I held it in my hand and I got comfortable with it, I absolutely loved it. I love the texturing, I love the grippiness. That's great. The steel, 3.5 out of 5. I like the edge retention, but vg1 and that super high Rockwell scale, it's going to be a pain to feel sharpen. So you're constantly going to have to touch your blades up. You're constantly going to have to run it on a strop. You're constantly going to have to do something with it just to keep it sharp. If you have to field sharpen this, you're going to need a diamond stone, or a lot of people out there are recommending using ceramic rods. You can do that. You have options. So just keep in mind, vg1 is a really hard, tough steel. You're going to have to field sharpen this, so pay close attention to it. What I'm actually going to do for you guys is I'm going to set up a video. I'm going to show you guys how to make a quick, simple, and inexpensive field sharpening kit. Right? Using some sandpaper. I'm going to show you guys that. So if you do lose it, you can care less. So I'll do that in a video for you guys. The sheath, 3.5 out of 5. I love the design. I love all the different lashing points and the ability to carry it in multi different ways. I love that. What I don't like is the snap up so high and the way this rides on the inside. Now, like I said before, if I'm not mistaken, cold steel is replacing the vg1 with the SK5. And I've heard great things about the SK5. It's basically a Japanese version of 1095, which is, everyone knows it, everyone loves it. Also, the grinds have changed. It's no longer a saber grind. Now it's more of a shallow hollow grind. So if I get my hands on one, I'll let you guys know. So as a package, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. When it comes to value for your money, I believe in the States where you guys are, you're looking about $70, give or take. You can check Amazon, you can check Blade HQ, you can check Blade Center, you can check Knife Center, wherever it is you get your knives, you can check. I believe a lot of them are sold out, so if you can find one, I highly suggest get one, keep it in your collection. In Canada, you're looking north of the $120 range, give or take. You can check out srswordandknives.com or SR Knives and Swords, one of the two. Just do a search, you'll find it. It's in Ontario, Canada. You can go check them out. You know, as for this, the CAO Brazilia Flathead, wherever you guys get your cigars, check them out. Cigars International, Cigar King, cigars.com, wherever you guys go, check your local tobacco shop. Sure, you guys can get your hands on this. Try one, you're gonna love this. So, like I always say, remember, keep it sharp, keep it oiled, keep it in the sheath. You take care of your blades, guys. They'll be there when you need them. So, till next time, and hopefully not too long, I'm Teddy, and you're watching Blade and Simple.